students. So we will start the new chapter from computer system architecture, and we will focus on this chapter. The major area of focus on this chapter is bus architecture. Okay. So the overall chapter name is I/O interface and bus architecture. But I'll just recall you all the details about I/O interface that we talked about in the next class. Sorry, the previous class. So the previous class was all about I/O interface. How input output connections communicate with the internal system, that is the CPU and the memory, is through a interface, and what was the need of I/O interfacing, and how the communication or data store or data movement take place. Okay. So we will just go through it once again, and then we will talk primarily on bus architecture. What is a bus? What are the type of bus? What is the bus design? And we will discuss all of it. So first of all, just let us recall what is I/O interface. So why do we need an interface first of all? Because there is a speed mismatch between the internal system and the I/O devices. Since I/O devices consist of mostly the peripheral devices, the devices which can be attached and detached on demand. Okay, I/O means input-output devices. Okay, so what are the output devices and input devices? The examples are monitor, joysticks, and input devices are keyboard, mouse. All these are input devices, standard input devices that we have been using throughout. Okay. Although the computer system can work without I/O devices, without a mouse, we can simply use the command line interpreter or the CLI that we say, and issue command and do things. We can shut down, we can open a folder, we can create a folder, we can move a folder, we can do anything. All the primary, the major functionalities can be done without a mouse as well. But why do we do this? For our convenience. Okay. So all the input-output systems are, attachable and detachable, and they have a greater speed mismatch. The processor works on a certain speed, but the input-output devices, depend on human intervention. Without a human, can we enter an input to a keyboard? No, right? So the keyboard speed depends upon the human speed. Okay? So the speed greatly varies. The computer system, that is the CPU, the processor works at a speed that is equivalent to nano or milliseconds. But here our speed is in terms of second, which is 1/1000 times slower. Okay, so that's why to balance it we need an interface in between. What is an interface? That is a middle person in between, or a middle system which facilitates the communication between two other entities, that is the internal system and the I/O system. So interface means I/O interface means interface between I/O and internal system. That is the CPU, memory, etc. So it facilitates the communication of I/O interface. Facilitates the communication between I/O and the internal system. Okay. So how do communication takes place? We talked about various modes of data transmission. Okay. We studied about interrupt-driven I/O. We studied about program-driven I/O, and we also studied about DMA, direct memory access, in which directly I/O can connect with memory for data transfer without the intervention of CPU. So we have studied all this. So you can again go through the previous videos. So we will define how the interface is made up of. Since we are calling interface that it is facilitating the communication between the two entities, but how? How the interface? What consists of the interface? Interface के अंदर क्या है? Okay, that comes to that. Having said that, which brings us to the next topic, that is bus. Okay, the interface connects off interconnections between various entities. Interface means it connects the bus. We can, you know, compare it with our daily life. Taking a real life example, I can say, how can you connect yourself to a different place? Bus carries us, isn't it? We take a bus, we purchase a ticket, and the bus carries us, and we go to that place, and we get down there. Okay. Similarly, the data transfer between various entities is done through bus. Okay. So there are various buses inside the system which connect the components of an entire computer. Okay. So what is basically a bus is, so bus is responsible for interconnection between computing devices or hardware or whatever components you can see. Okay, so bus is the medium through which everyone is connected. Okay, so now we can say bus is, simply we can say these are links or wires. Links or wire which carry computer signals. So these are links and wires which carries computer signals. So we can say bus is a link, a bunch of wires or links. Generally we don't say wires, that means it is linked, you know, there is linking. These are wires which connect to various computing, you know, hardware, or you can say various components like memory, CPU, everything is connected through a bus. Okay. So there are broadly three types of buses. So bus are of three types. So bus is of three types. One is, we have system bus. Then we have, you know, IO bus. And there is another called ALU data path. Now we will see one by one. What is system bus? System bus means the entire bus which connects everything, like all the major components or broad components of, you know, computer, like CPU, memory. These are basically the broad components, isn't it? We have CPU, we have memory, and we have I/O. Interconnection between these entities is done by a channel called system bus. This is the system bus. So what is basically system bus? The system bus is a bus which connects the entire individual computing, major computing devices like CPU, memory, I/O. These are all connected through a major bus called system bus. System bus binds all three computing, you know, major computing, broad computing devices together. So we can say a computer is defined based on system bus only. If system bus doesn't, you know, bring together these three entities or connect together these three entities, can we call this a computer? No, right? To make up a computer, we need a system bus to connect each of the, you know, major computing devices. Now, after that we have IO bus. What is IO bus? This is IO bus. IO bus means the bus which connect the entire system to IO. Okay, the bus which connects the IO to the rest of the computing system is called IO bus. Why are we taking IO as a separate entity? See, since IO means input-output devices which are attachable or detachable. Okay, they have a greater speed mismatch. That's why in order to interface it, or we can say to connect it with the rest of the system, we need a IO interface which consists of nothing but IO bus. IO bus is nothing but IO interface. Okay, it is connected to the rest of the system. IO is connected to the rest of the system through this IO bus. Okay. Next we have ALU data path. Now you may ask, what is ALU data path, ma'am? This is also a kind of bus inside the CPU. This is a kind of bus inside CPU. We have ALU data path. Suppose this is CPU, Central Processing Unit. Now CPU consists of control unit, arithmetic logical unit and memory register. Basically these are the components. Now these are connected via a bus called ALU data path. So this connection is called what? ALU data path. So since CPU consists of control unit, arithmetic logical unit and memory register, within CPU these three entities are connected via a bus and that bus name is called ALU data path. Okay, so I hope you got what are the types of broad categories of bus. We can have system bus, which binds all the component of computer and makes a computer, we can say. Then we have IO bus. IO bus means connection. IO bus is responsible for connecting the entire IO system with the internal computing system. Okay. Then we have ALU data path. ALU data path is a bus which connects all the components of CPU, that is the control unit, arithmetic logic and memory unit or memory register, are connected through ALU data path. So that the bus that connects the internal component of CPU is termed as ALU data path. Okay. So next we will see the bus design, how the design of bus takes place. But you may ask, ma'am, you said that bus consists of bunch of lines of wires. So what are the types of wire? What does the wire carries? Okay, so we will discuss that in the bus design. Okay. So bus design, what are the components of bus? Components of bus. We have, actually the bus consists of bunch of lines or wire. The wires can be categorized into three types. One is address. We have address lines. Second we have data lines. And next we have control lines. So bus lines consist of three types. One is address line, second one is data line, and third one is control line. Okay. Since a bus is majorly used for what? Transfer of signals. Transfer of signal. Okay. Now these signal may be address signal, data signal, or control signal. Okay, since we are passing signal, we are connecting the components like memory to I/O, memory to CPU. The connection is done through what? These buses. Okay, so bus basically transfers the signal. If it transfers the address through this bunch of lines, through the bunch of wires, this is what a bus is, right? So if we transfer signal and the signal type is address, that is done through the address lines. Okay, address lines are responsible for transfer of signal, address signals. Okay, to pass the addresses, we use the address lines. Then we have data lines, which is responsible for transfer of data signals. Okay. So data lines is responsible for transferring data. As I said, we can transfer data byte by byte from I/O to memory through various mode like program mode, interrupted mode, or DMA. But the carrying of signal, the signal is taken in which line? In the bus, that is in the data lines of the bus, we carry the data. Okay, so the data is carried, whichever byte may be, it is carried through the data lines. if the data lines, the size of data line determines the word length. Okay, important point to remember what? Size of data lines determines the word length. What is the length of data to be stored is determined in terms of data line. That means at a time, how much bits or bytes of data can be transferred is known as the word size. Okay, so if the size of data lines is suppose 4 byte, then this word size is what? 4 byte. Okay, so size of data line determines the word length. Similarly, size of address line, if suppose address is 2 byte. 2 byte means how many bits? 8, 8, 16 bits. Okay. So 16 address length is 2 byte or 16 bit. We can say the memory size is 2 to the power 16. Okay. So size of address line determines size of memory. Okay, so if address line is 2 byte, memory is 2 to the power 16. That is equal to 16 bit, we can say. So memory size is m is equal to 2 to the power 16. 2 to the power 16 means what? 64k. I'm just giving you an example. If this is the condition, we can determine the memory. If the data length is 4 byte, if this is the status that data length is some byte, then we can determine the word length. That how much is the word length, how much we can store at a time in memory. Okay. So data line determines the word length and address line determines the size of memory. Now what are control lines for? Control lines are used to determine the type of operation that we want to perform. Control lines gives the control signals on how to process the information, which hardware to activate, which operation to be carried out. Everything is determined, related to the execution of instruction. The data is transferred through control line. Control line tells us what to do, which operation to carry out. Okay, so control line is responsible for carrying out the execution by giving us information regarding the type of type of operation to be performed. Okay, so this was about the components of bus. What are the bunch of wires, and these wires are categorized into three types called address line, data lines, and control lines. We studied about the address line, that it carries the address. When the signal to be transmitted is an address, then we call it is transmitted in address line. When we have to transmit data, we use the data line, and when we have to give the type of information, the information related to the status bit, type of information, what is the what to activate, what hardware to generate, these are through the control line. So control signals are passed through the control lines. Okay, so in the next class I will see the architecture of the bus. I will show you the diagram and how these lines are connected with each of the computing devices. Okay, how these three types of lines are connected to CPU and memory and IO. We will see the bus design, and we will specifically discuss about the USB and SCSI. These are the type of buses. SCSI stands for Small Computer System Interface Bus, and USB stands for Universal Serial Bus. We will discuss about this, and with that we may further discuss about doubts, because that will not the end of the subject. Computer system architecture we have discussed enough, and if we complete this, then the entire syllabus would be completed. Okay, so after that we will just brush up from beginning to end. If you have any doubt, we will conduct Zoom classes, since the video series will be ending within next 2 to 3 classes. We can complete the computer system architecture. Okay, so meanwhile, if you have any doubt, you can post it in the comment section, or you can reach me through WhatsApp. So thank you.